Hi, and welcome to Musician Hangout with your host, Crash Fistfight from Hated Noise and Maxine Maxwell from the Maxwells.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. Oh my gosh, it's so great to be back. It has been a crazy week, and I always look forward to Musicians Hangout, and I hope that you do too. So we have we have such an exciting night tonight. We have a band that's streaming from Ohio, so they're on the east side of the country from us. So East Coast, West Coast, woo! And we have Times of
Desperation.
Hi guys, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Well, go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your band.
Go ahead, bro. I'm Josh. I'm the vocalist. I'm Justin Combs, the guitar player.
Nice.
We've been together going on about, we're coming up on 4 years actually, as far as being a solid band together anyways. We are just your typical Ohio metal band. We really don't follow suit when it comes to any certain type of genre or anything like that. We like to go out and crack heads and get wild. I mean, we love what we do. We put some souls into it, and we have worked our asses off to get to where we are today, for sure, without a doubt.
Heck yeah. I've seen that you guys have some pretty awesome concerts coming up this summer.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a Barnyard Bash. It's hosted by Sour Blood, and it's going to be featuring Dread Engine, Atamera, Then Falls the Sky, a lot of killer Ohio bands. I mean, some of these, they've been around for a while, and these guys go out and kill it. I mean, we love playing with Sour Blood always, but we're getting a chance to play with some bands that we've yet to play with, and we are very excited to play with.
That's so awesome. So you guys are a 3-piece. You got a drummer, right?
We are a 4-piece. We have a bass player and a drummer, actually.
Okay.
We started
lucky.
The numbers change. They do change. That's for sure.
They do. Yes, they do.
We had a 5-piece. We had a 2-guitar and bass and drum, and it just, things ran their course. Everybody had, different obligations they weren't able to fulfill to the band, and some people had to part ways, but we're kicking pretty solid right now as far as everybody goes. That's
awesome. It's good when you find people that you click with and that you can work with like that.
It's so hard. It's so good. It really is. We just finished up recording our very first actual studio EP. It's 3 tracks we did with Joe Veers at Sonic Lounge in Grove City, Ohio. Very amazing studio engineer. This guy has done some of my favorite records that I still listen to this day. I mean, they were done back in the 90s and 2000s, but killer music. He did a lot of the Bubba Flex albums, if you guys are familiar with Bubba Flex.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just a super great guy. Like, we went up there and we were all nervous as hell, but we had a really good time working with him. He just sent us those tracks back today for us to go over, and I was in tears listening to him, straight up. It was really cool to hear.
Wow.
Along with me, it was a really cool feeling. It's something I've yet to feel.
That's great. Yeah, when they capture the essence of your music, it's very moving. Nice.
Really.
Very, very cool.
We took a ride as soon as he pulled in for us to sit down to do this. I was like, let's go. And he jumped in and we took a ride, and he got to hear it for the first time. We just kind of rode around jamming out our own music for about 25 minutes.
That's awesome.
It was a good time, for sure.
Sweet.
We love it.
So how did you guys get your name, Times of Desperation?
Yeah.
The name says it all.
Yes.
3 times of desperation. We had no idea what to name this band.
We
had about 50 names before we decided on Times of Desperation.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. It's a good name. I like it.
Thank you. I mean, it suits us. You mean, I really like suits the world, anyways, and what things are right now.
Oh yes.
We're not one of those bands that just kind of goes out and deliver. I mean, to say that there's a message to our music for sure. He writes all the lyrics, and he does. I was really impressed. I mean, aside from just, obviously him being in my band and being my friend, I was, when I would go home with these demos and stuff and sit there and listen to them, I would find myself, digging into the lyrics he was writing. And, we'd get back to practice and I'd be like, dude, holy shit. Like, that was such killer words. And there's times when he comes up with stuff on the fly when we're out there. I'd much rather him leave it alone, but then he ends up knocking it out of the park whenever he does write it in, keep it in there for good. Very good lyricist. He definitely is. He tells a lot of different things in a lot of different ways that, it can be interpreted in many ways, but I'm really proud of him and the words he's
I wrote the soundtrack to the plague before the plague actually happened. Yeah.
I've heard that from other artists that they feel like they almost predicted it with some of the things that they were writing prior to the pandemic and how it kind of all led up to what it is now. And it's really interesting what's coming out of the pandemic too, all the music that's coming out of that. I mean, my band generally is pretty heavy, and we've stepped it up a little bit more. I wrote a song last night that was much heavier than a lot of the things that we've written. And it just feels good. Feels good to get a lot of that rage out.
You're not kidding. Yeah. We like to call our practices poker night, basically. It's just where we take our old asses away from everything and go out and lay some shit down once a week and have a good time at it.
Nice. When do you guys generally jam? Like when's your jam night? Friday night.
Yep.
Nice.
Oh, hell yeah, Friday nights.
Woo! Looking forward to Fridays, I'm sure. Yeah.
Very cool. Wild on the Fridays.
Nice.
We've definitely worked to be where we're at. I mean, none of us were gifted with the silver spoon, so we all work day jobs, and struggle to pay for music equipment and recording and everything else. We ended up getting a first print of our shirts. What was it, last year?
Yeah.
And we did really well selling those at shows. I mean, we've still yet to have music to hand out at shows. We made a couple 2-song demos that we took and burned ourselves to shows, which they were gone at that very first show that we took them to and never had them again. Wiped out. But then we sold enough shirts to help pay for our very first studio time that we did up there at Sonic Lounge. And ever since then, it's been here and there and out of pocket, but we're definitely working on getting some more merch going here. Hopefully soon. This music's going to be another step for us. We feel like this is going to be a solid product we can put out and not only net return, but build a much larger fan base.
Oh, heck yeah. Well,
that's a good feeling.
Yeah. Merch sales are where it's at too. Like that's where a lot of musicians make their money now, is off our merch. So for those of you that are tuning in, buy your favorite bands, your local bands merch, because it's what helps us out.
It's pretty, sometimes it's the only thing that we get paid. I mean, besides drink tickets, but now with COVID, we don't even get drink tickets because, the venues, they need to recoup their loss of the last 16, 17 months that they've been out of business. So, no more drink tickets for us. Super sucks, but, I get it.
We're about 2 hours away in any direction from any, legit venue. So we have to travel to even be able to play shows, we had one show that was about an hour from where we live, and it was a lot of fun, I'll say that, but it was not quite what we had expected to get ourselves into, but we had a good time and we made the best of it for sure. But yeah, we have to travel 2 hours one way just to play a show,
Yeah,
Mm.
I get that. I'm in the same boat. So I live west of
Yeah.
Seattle and I travel 2 hours to go anywhere too. If I'm playing Seattle, Tacoma, or Olympia, it's all about 2 to 2.5 hours away in one direction. So I feel your pain, but it's kind of cool
It is.
to go somewhere else and
Yeah.
jam out and meet other bands from those areas and then be out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. I like the shows that are 20 minutes from my house versus the ones that are 2 hours from my house. And I'm actually in a spot where like there are venues open 20 minutes from my house,
Yeah.
which is nice.
You're closer. You're a lot closer to some of the main venues, and that is really nice.
But here's the thing, I do go out and support other bands. I don't just go to those venues, but then, oh, my band's playing tonight. I'm going to go to this venue for the one and only time. No, I support these venues. I go there when my friends are playing. I go there when I'm damn hungry. So
Yeah. That's the best way to help
yeah.
them, keep afloat. Definitely.
Everybody needs help in these times. I mean, it's rough right now. All these businesses are suffering, bands are suffering. I mean, it's rough right now.
It really is.
And
if I remember right, Ohio didn't shut down as quickly as Washington State did. You guys stayed open a little bit longer.
Probably so.
What sort of restrictions do you guys have now?
Mask mandate is still
Okay.
highly a mask mandate. I mean, you can't go into any store without a mask on.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. Is there still curfew?
No, the curfew's been lifted. It's not as bad here anymore, but there for a while. I mean, you probably couldn't breathe without at least, getting fined for it or something. I don't know.
I don't abide by any of it, so I really don't know.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I am with you on that. I don't buy none of it.
Yeah, we have the mask mandates, but things, well, no, we got bumped back to phase 2, I guess. We were phase 3.
Not until Friday.
Okay.
We're still in phase 3 till Friday. So the rumor has it. But
it's confusing.
but it's not all counties. It's only certain counties. Like Pierce County, they got rolled back to phase 2. I'm still in phase 3. I think you're still in phase 3, Maxine.
I'm in 3. Yes, I'm in 3.
I think you actually get to stay in phase 3.
That's
but
what
it
we're
sounds
hoping.
like King County and Snohomish County we're rolling back on Friday, which sucks.
Yeah. Where the big venues are, where the biggest venues are, have to go back down to 25% capacity versus a 50% capacity, which makes it harder on the venues and harder on, the workers that are there and etc. So
we were going to shows, and they're expecting everybody to stay seated at these shows and stay 6 feet apart. And it's just like,
yeah, right. Like that. No, that's not gonna happen. I mean, it just got to be realistic about it. Like when I went to shows, there were actually people just like walking around without masks on. Not everybody, but some people, musicians, would come off the stage, forget that, oh shoot, got to put my mask on before I leave the stage.
yeah.
And so they're walking around, but nobody's saying anything. Like, I think people were just done. And now with the vaccines, like people are starting to feel safer because of the vaccines are out and like, but still, like, it's still out there. We have to be safe. I know it sucks, but
it does suck.
How do you guys feel about the vaccine right now with everything going on with Johnson & Johnson?
Well, I didn't have the Johnson & Johnson, thank goodness. I had
and here's my take on the whole Johnson & Johnson thing.
Okay.
There, out of 6 million people, only 6 people have died.
Right.
And they were of childbearing age women who were on birth control. So, I mean, there are other factors at play. And it had like that's like a 0.000088% of fatality, which I feel are really good odds. I mean, That's less than 1%.
I feel
I've
that
always
too,
thought
but I heard that
that-
the vaccinations, Johnson and Johnson particularly, were giving blood clots to people.
Yes.
Yeah. So Johnson and Johnson has not been going very well. I had the Moderna. So it was manufactured from a team out of Boston, and I felt tired my first round. That was it. And then the second round, I have felt feverish, like I have a flu. So I got it yesterday, and today I've felt really weird, but I'm doing a lot better already. So,
I'm just kind of, me personally, I'm just kind of waiting
to
see everything like even out first. Like, I don't want to rush and get something that I'm not familiar with. I know that sounds bad because everybody's like, "Oh, you got to have that shot." But
I've heard that from a lot of people. That's not bad. No worries. I get it.
And for me personally, I don't know what's going into my body, and that makes me worry. So,
well, for me, I had cancer in 2019. Well, longer than 2019, but I went into remission in 2019. And so that's not a very long time. So there's still poisons in the tissues of my body. And I'm just worried because nobody's done studies about this.
Right.
You know,
I mean,
I'm vaccine in my body.
So bad. I have anxiety because I work retail and I have anxiety so bad, and I go home and it just feels like my entire body can cripple up.
Oh,
can't get out of bed and things like that. And like some of the stuff that they put in these medicines like triggers that. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna wait and see what comes this before I take something like that. So.
Right. No, and it just comes down to personal choice, really.
Yes. So I was willing to be a guinea pig, mostly because of my profession. I'm a high school teacher, and we're bringing the kids back. We're in hybrid models right now, so we have our A and B groups. So for the good of humanity where I'm at, I decided to go ahead with my vaccination. Plus, there are policies district-wide about traveling out of state. Without vaccinations, I would have to quarantine for 2 weeks if I traveled out of state. And I want to roll the dice so I can keep traveling, so I can leave and do what I want. And I guess live a normal life as normal as it can be now.
Right.
I'll be your guinea pig, guys.
We were so excited for 2020 until 2020 actually started, and it's just been a shit show.
Dude, I know. We played that big concert together.
Yes.
Oh my God.
We like Flappers that are, one of the last shows that we've done.
Yeah, we were ready for the Roaring 20s, man. It was intense. And then all of a sudden, I was
rolling into the shitter.
Yeah. I was just getting into the festival circuit, and then bam, shut everything down. And we've been invited back for some of these festivals, but they're playing in Idaho, and I can't travel out of state yet. So soon.
We did our first show as a band, and exactly 1 week later, lockdown.
What?
No.
Oh.
We had shows booked and everything. It was like our coming out party, and it was just gone.
But we did really well, all things considered.
Good.
Oh, good.
For sure.
Well, obviously, because you're on some pretty big bills on I follow Audioside, and Audioside is playing a show with you guys in August, and that's a pretty big bill, pretty fun concert lineup there. So
dude, I was totally stalking that today on Justin's Facebook.
Yeah,
I was checking out the shows that you had coming up, and I was like, I want to see how many bands I know on this bill.
Yes.
There was a couple though. I was like,
we were really excited about the Rock Out Camp Out. We've wanted to be a part of that now, probably about 2 years, really. I mean, as far as just wanting to get out there and get into it, it's such a great cause. And not only that, but there's so many bands that are really cool. And I honestly, there's a lot of bands on the Rock Out Camp Out this year that I'm not familiar with. That are new to me. One band that has Artifacts is playing that, right?
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of Artifacts yet?
I haven't.
Yes.
I'm gonna look them up.
Yes, I have.
It's a friend of ours, Bash Shock. It's his new band. He was in a band called 10 Rows. You know what call this band?
Well, he was in 10 Rows. He had when he first started, they called themselves the Lost Boys. They dressed up like vampires.
Our old
Like the
guitar
actual-
player
Oh,
was
Oh, I
part of
love
that.
that.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. But Bash has really dug deep into the Columbus local music scene is basically what they call it around here. He's a very talented guy for sure. He's been doing a lot of acoustic stuff for most of the past year. But they started Artifacts up. I'd say you guys would probably really dig their music. They're definitely doing.
No, I've heard of them.
I looked it up. I'm following them now. I'll check it out. Definitely.
The one we were excited about was Barnyard Bash. I mean, there was a band that was scheduled called The World I Knew from Cincinnati that were supposed to play that, and they've got something else going on this year, so they're not going to. But I'm dying to play with those guys. Those guys are some bangers. Like, I'm the big time metalhead. Like, I'm Lamb of God, Parkway Drive, Unearth. That's my shit right up my alley.
I have a Devil Driver tattoo right here.
Yeah, oh yeah. Not all who wander are lost. Yes.
Yeah,
My favorite
no,
Devil
I'm
Driver
a huge
song
Devil
is
Driver
Guilty
fan.
as
Awesome.
Sin. Guilty as Sin. Every time I hear that song, I lose my mind. God, brutal song.
Every one of us
Yes.
are different when it comes to music.
Oh yeah, yeah. We all listen to different music in this band. That's quite.
That can add to the eclectic style that brings you all together too. Like when everybody has a different taste in music, it sometimes works.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
There's times when we will, like, we have a song called Paper Champion. That's the one song that I can truly say we put it together in a day, and it was me, Josh, and our drummer Lance. Like, that was it at the time. Everybody else had kind of parted ways or wasn't making it at the time, and we wanted to come up with something new, and we just dialed that song in that night and brought it together. And then some of our other songs, we literally had to fight tooth and nail to get them where we wanted them to where they are now, of course.
Right.
We're not the guys to normally just be like, done, next, done, next. We like to try different things as we're going through the songs, but we're pretty happy. We already have a first album done, written, banked.
Awesome.
It's really just the pandemic and the money that's holding us up from being able to just go straight record that and get it out. So we're going to push this EP first and start promoting that. But we are writing a second album right now also. And it is heavy.
That's what a lot of bands were doing, even post-pandemic. They were doing EPs. That's what we did. We're still working on our album. We were going to have it done last year, but my husband ruptured his eardrum, and he does all of our recording and mastering. So he's still healing with that. So that's been put on hold. But we have our EP, and a lot of bands have gone to releasing singles and having EPs just to keep their music fresh.
Right.
But yeah, I love the whole album concept. Do you guys have a name for your album?
Yes, it's called Exit Humanity.
Ooh,
I like that.
Yeah.
It's basically like
My
a concept
band is
album.
actually going in on Tuesday to record our album. Nobody gives a fuck.
Oh, sorry. I think there's a delay going on, friend. So.
What'd you say, Paul?
So my band's actually going in on Tuesday to record our first album.
Oh, really? Where are you guys recording at?
This dude Scott Michael's house.
Home studios, yo. Gotta do the home studios, man. They're sometimes
we
the best.
recorded at some dude Joe's house before, so we
Yes.
know all about that bag.
You gotta support those local studios.
Our first track we ever did that we ever put out was called "It's Been Hell," and we recorded it at this guy called it Big Boss Studios, and it's in a town called Crown City, which is literally a Dollar General and a Dairy Boy gas station.
Wow. I love
which
that.
he lives like 8 minutes outside of that. But he did really well. I mean, he did good on it, and we had a good time recording it. But you know, we really just we were to the point that if we were going to keep pushing ourselves to truly be a band and truly try to make a run of this, then why not push ourselves to deal with the best engineer in Ohio? I mean, that was
Yeah.
kind of what we looked at it from. If we were going to really make a go at it, then we should go hard. That's what got us to Joe.
Yeah, you got to make those sacrifices, you know, to take it to the next level. I get it.
I wish I could let you guys hear the music we got back today.
I know, right? I want to hear it so bad. I mean,
so killer.
Soon enough. When are you planning on releasing it?
That's a discussion. We still have we haven't really sit down and had a band discussion about it yet. There's some behind the scenes stuff going on that we still haven't even really crossed yet, I would say.
We were on track to do like a 6-track demo that we were doing with our own home studio. Our drummer does recording also. So we went ahead and laid those 6 tracks down, and we just, again, we got to that point where we were just telling ourselves, like, if we're going to do this, then let's just go big and let's go to Sonic Lounge. So we did, but of course, money. We could really only afford to do the 3 songs, so we decided to do 3 with Joe, and then take 3 or 4 of the demo we made as bonus tracks on the EP and release it out like that. So it'll probably be like a 6 or 7 track EP with just demo versions of what's to come when we go back in. Yeah. And maybe like a live or something like that on a USB drive.
Do you have a time frame that you're planning on going back in?
Well, we got that music back today, and I'm ready to go tomorrow. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to go ahead and try to shoot a video. I mean, again, like Josh said, it's still to be discussed, which we'll all have practice Friday, and that will probably be when we discuss it. But realistically, I would say we will probably go ahead and get this music sent out to be printed onto actual discs to be able to have something that shows, and probably start trying to shoot a video, book some shows, and hopefully by the end of this year actually have the rest of the album. He's been telling people at every show we got an album coming, so we've looked like liars for quite a while.
Right? Oh yeah, man, we've been liars now for like 2 or 3 years. So.
Hey, it's all right. Tool lied to us for 10 years, so.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, so we can lie a little bit, fib,
Sure.
Keep them coming back. Come on, we might have an album this time, guys. Come on.
Right?
Yeah. You like that new Tool album?
I do.
I haven't even heard it.
It's different, I want to say, but they stayed true to their sound for the most part.
I'm a firm believer in a big change between Enema and Lateralis. Now, I like Lateralis. I don't like much after Lateralis. The 10,000 Days album I don't care for, and the new album I didn't care much for. But I did like the Lateralis album, and of course everything before I was in love with.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way about the 10,000 Days too. But I got to see that one. I got to go to their concert when they did the 10,000 Days tour, and the band that was supposed to open for them couldn't make it. They got lost because it was so long ago. They didn't have GPS, so the band got lost trying to make it to the venue. And so Tool opened for themselves, and they did all of their hit songs from back in the day, and it was just like everything that I wanted to see. Like, oh my God, this is, and their light show was comparable to probably what Pink Floyd would have had back in the day. I mean, it was freaking amazing. And I was in the 3rd row until the crowd started jumping, and then I moved back to row 10. So I'm small, but it was a lot of fun.
I would have liked to have seen Tool, but I never did get the chance.
Oh, if you get the chance, do it. They're a good show. Hi,
Yeah.
Dawn. Hi.
I was gonna
Cheers
say,
to
we
you.
have Don Rush from Audio
Hi.
Side.
That's a damn good band, Audio Side.
I just watched them on Licking County Metalheads the other night.
Yes. Yeah, they
Oh,
crashed.
nice.
They crashed the party, didn't they? Make an appearance on Licking County Metalheads. Shout out to
Yes.
those guys. Shout out to Licking County Metalheads. We love you guys.
Darcy's, yeah,
underwhelming.
we love Licking County Metalheads. But yes, Darcy says that the new Tool album was underwhelming.
Yeah,
Well,
I get that. I feel that too. Yeah.
It was built up a little too much.
You guys
oh
still
my
talking about
God.
Tool? Oh, I don't know how you guys listen to that band.
Man.
My
Sophie,
friend Jason Van Ness hates Tool, like hates them.
It's an acquired taste, I've noticed. Yeah.
I was always into the punk side of things. I like the Ramones, the Misfits, Bad Brains, Black Flag. I like energy music.
You
Those, like,
would
2 minutes
love
of just
my band Hated
expression.
Noise. Like
Mhm.
we are a hardcore punk band.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Like, yeah. We sound like Vice Squad and oh, what is it called? Neighborhood Watch. And those guys.
That's cool.
Not quite so much.
When we talk about everybody being different, that's I grew up around. I was always a big punk fan. Like I don't know, like where I played in metal, because I've been a vocalist since I was like 16, and I grew up around metal or playing in metal bands. I just couldn't listen to metal at all, so I got into punk, and that was it for me.
That's awesome. I've always been into metal. Metallica was my first love. And then I moved on to hi puppies. My puppies are saying hi. Hi puppy. There's my puppy.
Awesome. The puppies are home. I got 2 bulldogs.
I've been really into listening to Lamb of God lately. I'm on a Lamb of God kick. That's probably why I wrote such a heavy song recently.
Justin recently got me into Lamb of God. I just started listening to him. I'm not familiar with it.
I love Lamb of God, man.
Like,
all right, I wanted to get back to
really got into lately is 333. I don't know if you've heard of them or not.
Yes.
But I freaking love them. Their energy is off the hook. And Ghost. Ghost is probably my favorite band right now. Even though they're not punk, but I love them. So.
Yeah, Ghost is pretty cool.
Yeah, I seen Ghost live before I seen them back in maybe late, I want to say about 2019.
Oh, Darcy. Sorry, someone in the chat says Opeth. We got an Opeth series, Paul Reed Smith back here. So I bought that for my hubby a few Christmases ago. So got the symbol right there. I love Opeth. Oh yeah. I write a lot like Opeth. I've got like really soft intros and then go heavy and then back into the soft and then heavy again. I like those transitions. Yeah. So you've been singing since you were 16.
Oh yeah. Yeah, actually funny story, like when we started, I've always wanted to be in a band. Like growing up, I had all my friends were like, we're gonna start a band, and we're like, okay, cool. And they're like, you're gonna play bass. And I was like, all right, awesome. I'm just gonna be in a band. I don't care what I do. Like about 10 minutes later, the guys who plays bass is like, I'm not gonna play bass no more. Or you're not gonna play bass no more. I'm gonna play bass and you're gonna sing. And I was like, okay. So then after that, it was just takeoff for me. That's what I've been doing since. So
that's awesome. How many bands have you been in?
I've got 3 major bands.
Okay.
That I really tried to push from the ground.
Sweet.
Yeah. Well, technically, I've been in one band though. If 3 different names, we just got a new member. Justin will be our new member. So.
Oh,
I've been in that for 3 bands trying to push, I've been in 3 bands. So
very cool. So you talked a little bit about the bands that you listen to. Who are your musical influences?
mine, I would say my number one all-time favorite singer is probably Mike Patton from Faith No More.
Oh wow, okay, yeah.
Like, I think when I seen when I heard Epic for the first time, it kind of changed my whole perception on music because it allowed rap and metal to come over, kind of like Run DMC and Aerosmith. So
Red Hot
setting the
Chili Peppers
trends.
did the thing.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're a fan of Mike Patton, then like he's not a big fan of Red Hot Chili Peppers. So
Well, yeah, but
yeah.
Red Hot Chili Peppers tattoo right here.
I was waiting for you to show that tattoo too. I'm like, she likes the Hot Chili Peppers too.
I'm with Crash on this one.
Hell yes. So Justin, who are your influences? Who influences you?
Well, I was the typical goth kid that was, Korn, Limp Bizkit. There's a local band from Ohio that was called Victim, and actually they recorded all their albums up there at Front Range where we did. And you guys know So High?
Who?
So High from Ohio.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think I do.
They're a local band.
Okay. We'll look them up too.
S.J. Abley. He had a band called Pets or Meat for a long time.
Oh, that's an awesome.
He had a band.
Awesome.
He had a band called
Name
with the lead singer of Victim, and I grew up listening to Victim a lot. Like, I had a buddy named Jeff Carper who put me on to Victim, and I was just a diehard Victim fan. But I started getting into Slipknot, 6 Feet Under, like the metal stuff. And then I got into Lamb of God, and that changed my whole world. Like, I heard As the Palaces Burn album, and I became full-blown metalhead after that. Like, I listened to Unearth and Parkway Drive, like, and that was all I'd listened to for a long time. I mean, I love Alice in Chains, Tool, Metallica, Ozzy, all that stuff too.
Oh, I love Ozzy, yes.
I'll tell you, the first time my parents listened to country music growing up, so I didn't even know metal or rock and roll, any of that was a thing. And my dad's youngest brother let me ride in his Jeep one time and was letting me like throw skunk beers out at road signs and stuff. And this sound over the radio, and I was like, "What is this?" He's like, "Oh, that's heavy metal," and it was "Bark at the Moon" by Ozzy Osbourne.
Yes, God, yes, I love Ozzy.
Never changed my life. Like, I became a rock and roll fan after that, and then slowly developed into a metalhead. And metal is definitely in my life. I mean, I get to going whenever I listen to metal. It does something completely different to me than what people get out of their music, for sure.
I'm kind of weird. I'm not like a metalhead, and I'm not a punk rocker. I am in a metal band, and I am in a punk band, but I really like all sorts of weird music. Like, I like flamenco music, and I like classical music, and I mean, come on, Johnny Cash, he's a stud. Who doesn't like damn Johnny Cash?
You can definitely catch me at a red light or two jamming.
I just had a debate on Johnny Cash at work, believe it or not.
Really?
About Johnny Cash and Elvis, like who was better. And I still I believe that Elvis whomped Johnny Cash's ass. I'm sorry, but I'm an Elvis fan. I think Elvis was.
Yeah, I'm just not a big Elvis fan.
Yeah.
Man, I grew up on Elvis. My favorite auntie listened to Elvis. And that's the part of the roots of rock and roll right there. And when you said that there was a debate, I was like, but they're both different genres and they both owned their genres, like Johnny Cash.
Like, who was bigger? Like, we were just discussing it at work. Me and one of my coworkers were talking about.
Like, Johnny Cash was more of the rebel. He was like the James Dean of, his era.
Yeah.
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 And Elvis was Elvis was kind of like a princess. I'm sorry. He was
Yeah,
really
he was a diva. Yeah.
yeah, he was really
He was a
prancy.
diva.
I mean,
Yeah, that's a good
dressed like
definition.
with royalty.
He
But hey,
actually wore the
whatever.
blue suede shoes, right? So kind of.
He did.
But you really,
But
I
he
mean,
was
if you go back and look at Elvis,
yeah,
though, Elvis went to war. I mean, he was
Yeah.
banned for his dancing.
right. Right.
Oh,
And I
that's
get that. I get that.
Yeah, he was a child molester, man.
He's
You
already
know.
ready for this. He already had a warm up to this discussion. He's ready. He's like, Elvis.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Elvis
Like
song?
cash.
What is it?
What's your favorite
Favorite
Elvis
Elvis
song?
Oh wow.
Mm.
Mine would be "Can't Help Falling in Love." Honestly, I like to play that on acoustic guitar every once in a while.
That's a good song. That is a fun song to play. We played some Elvis for my husband's parents' 50th anniversary was last year, and they couldn't have a big celebration. So
Right.
they had a small celebration where they just had a friend who's a professional chef come over to their house and prepare their meal. And then we were out in their yard and we sang for them. So we did an acoustic set and we did some Elvis. We did Unchained Melody.
He was just a little prancy. Got good music.
But I would say my favorite Elvis song is probably like
Suck,
Return
but
to Sender. I would say.
What
I
was
always
it?
hear myself singing it. Probably Return to Sender.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
one too.
I
Yeah,
usually
that's a
find
good
myself
one.
singing it at work. I don't know why, but I would say it's probably my favorite Elvis song. Or the Hound Dog.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
ain't
yeah.
nothing but a
Hound
dog.
Dog's good.
Ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Jailhouse Rock is good too.
So I had asked you earlier, Crash, and didn't get to hear. How do you and Maxine know each other?
Well, my band, one of my bands, was had an interview with a podcast, and Maxine happened to be tuning in that night, and we were chatting on the messenger on that podcast. And then her band, the Maxwells, was on the following week. So of course I'm going to tune in and hear her, interview and stuff. And we chatted and just kind of kept hooking up via this podcast. We like the podcasts. I mean, we tuned in every week religiously. And then the podcast discontinued or took a break or whatever you want to call it. And her and I just kind of wanted to continue to hang out. So we started our own little hangout.
That's awesome.
But we met in real life at a Soulfly show.
Yes.
Soulfly.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Hell yeah.
It was
That's
pretty
a name
sweet.
I've not heard for many a moons. Yeah.
Oh man, I follow Soulfly religiously.
What'd you guys think about the Cavalier?
Hi, Danny. Hi. Hi, Daniel Ray.
What's up, Dan?
We were shouting you out earlier. Licking County Metalheads. Check them out, guys, if you haven't. This Week in Metal.
Yes, This Week in Metal.
Did you guys check out the Cavalier Conspiracy album when it came out?
Oh, yeah.
I loved it, dude.
Yes.
I loved it.
Yes.
Yeah. I follow Max Cavalera and his wife pretty religiously online. So I'm up to date on what they're up to. And it was just so amazing to see them live too. And I got to meet Crash the same night. It was an amazing night. Oh my God. And they played at this club called Club Sir. And it's a smaller club. It's big, but it's not huge. It's not like a huge arena or anything. So it was more intimate. So you could really get close to the stage. It was really, really cool. We've played Club Sir. We've been to each other's shows at Club Sir, in fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And, well, we've played multiple shows together. Like our band have played shows together.
In fact, my last concert I played with Crash. So we played the Columbia City Theater, which is a really amazing venue in Seattle. Right when 2020, it was like their New Year's show at the Columbia City Theater. It was after the New Year, but it was like this is 2020. And we were like, she said, we were
Yeah.
flapper girls. We were like, we made a lot of really great connections that night. And then all of a sudden, like, our shows were coming up then the next month or two and got shut down. It was like, damn it. Had so much going on. But Musicians Hangout blew up because we started doing a concert series.
Yeah.
Yes. So we started doing the Corona concert series, and we had bands from all over the world perform virtually on this show, and it made some even bigger connections. So there was a point where they would Google live stream concert, and Musicians Hangout was what came up. So booking agents would get a hold of us to get their artists on the show. And it was really cool. We've made some really close friends through this experience too. So there's some silver lining here, gotta say.
Right.
I mean, another silver is we continue to do the concert series once a month. Like, we haven't quit doing it. Like, it's became like a thing that we host once a month.
Well, and we have our anniversary show this month, because technically our anniversary, our second anniversary for Musicians Hangout is May 15th. That's a Saturday. But we both have a lot of things going on between there. So our anniversary show falls on April 30th this year. So it'll be Friday, April 30th, everybody. We've got a really cool lineup for you. We've even got some artists from Ohio performing. We've got several artists from Ohio that we've been working with. And your scene is pretty bitchin', guys. I got to say, your scene is hot. So it's really cool to be able to connect with you guys because you guys got a really good rock scene over there.
Yeah, it's really thriving right now, and I'll tell you, it fell off for a long time. Honestly, like there wasn't a whole lot of bands around here just to go see. I mean, it's a hit or miss thing, really. Like weird, but it is booming right now. There's a lot of bands and a lot of creativity coming out of this area right now, for sure.
That's awesome.
Dude, I've noticed.
That is really, really good.
A lot of good dudes. I mean, you guys, women, whatever. The band that's hosting or headlining that rock out camp out in August, Mantra of Morta, I think is what they're called. I had actually never heard of them. They have a female vocalist, but I watched their video the other day. It was called Pig. It was like
I watched Pig earlier today. Yeah, and I was blown away. I'm like, that chick fucking rocks, man.
Dude, she was getting it, man.
Yeah. What? How do you say their? How do you say their name again? Mayhem of what?
Mantra of Morta, I think.
Oh, Mantra of Morta. Oh man, check it out, guys. They're killer good. Holy shit. Are they from Ohio? Are they from your area?
I'm guessing, but I don't know. I mean, seeing them on that bill, on that flyer, was the first I'd ever heard of them personally.
That's why I looked them up. I saw them on that flyer, and I was like, "Who's that?" Because I recognized your name. I recognized Audio Side. There were a couple others that I recognized, but I was like, "Who's that? Who's headlining?" I was like, "Holy shit balls!"
They opened up for Flaw. They're the one that caught that lead singer when that lead singer from Flaw went off.
Oh, really?
She's the one. The female vocalist is the one that caught that guy.
Oh, okay.
And sent it in on him.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Have you guys heard about all that? The whole thing with Chris Voles from Flaw?
No, what happened?
No, what's going on?
He used some choice words at a show recently, I guess, some racist slurs, and they're catching a lot of flack right now. They're getting a lot of heat, and I always did like 5 Volt Main a lot more than I did Flaw. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of his other band, 5 Volt Main. But I liked his other band a lot more than Flaw. We actually got to play with Flaw last year in Dayton, Ohio. And, apparently, the lead singer of Mantra of Morta, Josh was just saying, was the one that caught Chris on video saying the stuff he said. It's on YouTube. I mean, you can Google it or YouTube search it.
Oh my! Well, I've seen some things online that have alluded to that, and now it makes sense. I'm like, what's going on? What?
Well,
now I get it. Oh,
a new club just opened in Columbus called King of Clubs. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard about Rosa Villa. Obviously, Dimebag got killed there.
Yes.
you know, it was a world famous club that closed down, and we don't have that venue, which was a dream of mine. That was my goal, was to ever play there. But I think this new club, the King of Clubs, is probably going to take its place.
I would say it's a big venue there now. It's really popular.
It looks like an arena on the inside from what I've seen.
Wow.
I've been in contacts with them trying to get us in there, so hopefully that'll catch some traction before too long, and we'll get to go in there and play a show. But it's, you know, gotta just playing the waiting game with that.
Right.
I get that. Totally get that.
I bet you guys have a lot more venues.
Yeah.
I'm new to the music thing. Like, these guys have all done this stuff. They've played shows and been in bands for years, and this is my first real band that I've ever been in. Yeah, I was a drug addict most of my life, like strung out on pills and heroin and stuff.
Wow.
I went to prison in 2015 and came home at the end of 2016 and started playing guitar in 2017 again. I mean, I used to play around on it, but never took it serious. And I started playing in 2017 again, and then got back a hold of these guys, and we started all this up and got to where we're at now.
Dude, that's a great success story right there.
Yeah, it is.
That's
inspirational. Even funnier, I'll tell you. I'll go back even further. So when I was in high school, I was on drugs, and I came to where we're at now, Gallia County. I'm from Jackson County, which is an adjacent county. And I was skipping school with a friend that had a doctor's appointment, and we pull in, and he tells us to wait in the car. He'll be back when he's done. He goes inside, and I see these guys all packing guitars and shit into this house. I was like, huh, what's going on over here? So I walk over, and I was like, hey, you guys in a band? And they're like, obviously. And I was like, hell yeah, man. Can I come in? They was like, come on. And it was these guys. So I go inside and watch them jam, and they tell me all about, you know, we're like, what, 16, 17-year-old kids at this time. Yeah. First time we'd ever met each other. And, you know, they had told me the name of their band, XOXO, and I was like, oh, I'll check it out. No Facebook or anything back then, obviously.
Right.
Ended up in summer school the next year, and I run into him in summer school because he's in summer school too. And we kind of talk and stuff. Well, then I would go to Boba Flex shows all the time. I was a big Boba Flex fan. And their band would be opening up for Boba Flex and stuff. And we would say hi and talk to each other and stuff like that. But then it led to, you know, I was, of course, the drug addict and everything. And I had messaged them guys to see what they were up to and see if they were still playing music. Trey, who was our other guitar player and also the guitar player for the Lost Boys, he lives like a stone's throw from me. And whenever I moved down here, I met up with him, and we both started playing guitar together. And then I got a hold of Josh and Lance, our drummer, on Facebook, and he was like, dude, let's start a metal band. And I was like, oh no, man. Like, no. I was like, I'm not ready for that. And he's like, dude, come on, man. Let's just try it out. And it worked.
Here you are. Yeah.
We are. Ask and taking names for sure. It's pretty cool. It makes for a good story for sure.
That is a really good story. Thanks for sharing that.
Yes,
that's powerful.
Yes.
Yes, very inspirational.
It's been a long, hard road, that's for sure. For sure.
It can be. It can be. You know, some of us musicians, we definitely teeter on that addiction line, and some of us get lost to it, and some of us come out of it. So it's a beautiful thing when you hear encouraging stories like that.
I've seen so many people, just even still recently. I mean, I just lost a friend last week, literally, that got some pills that were pressed out of fentanyl, and he, you know, passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's literally just my personal friends is like in the death tolls of 40 and 50, probably guys that I grew up with and was friends with.
Within the past 2 weeks, I lost a very dear friend of mine. He lived in Florida, and I lost him to drug overdose.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. It's rough. It's terrible. I mean, it's terrible.
It's been rough.
I tried everything to inspire him to go into treatment, to do anything besides that. Like, And it just,
unfortunately, there's nothing you can do. I mean, there's nothing you can say or do that will convince somebody in that mindset to change their mind.
Yeah, they have to
I
come to that.
literally,
Yeah.
I mean, they do. I was literally up in Columbus, like just shooting, 10, a whole gram of heroin, which is 10 times what somebody would do normally on their own at one time. And I woke up one morning and I knew I had like outstanding warrants out the ass, waiting on me. And I said, man, when I finish this heroin off, I'm done. I'm going to jail and I'm not looking back. I've had enough. I'm ready to life. I mean, it's either I'm going to be dead or end up in prison forever. So
right. And
I
I feel
went and
like
did my
each
time.
individual has to reach that part, like I can't do this anymore. Like I gotta stop. Like I have to stop. They have to reach that point. Doesn't matter what anybody else says or does around them. They have to
Right.
experience a moment.
Yeah. And sadly, a lot of them don't ever make it to that decision. A lot of them, think that they can just keep getting high forever and there's not any circumstances. And that's just not the case. I mean, it's a never ending cycle. There's three ways out. There's stop, die, or, sit in prison forever. And it's sad. And the saddest thing about it is that the drugs that are killing people now are the drugs that, the government's making. I mean, it's the pharmaceuticals that's
what's
killing
really
people,
scary.
left and right.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
been all sorts of laws that are preventing doctors from being able to prescribe certain drugs in the state of Washington because of that. So there were drugs before that were, being prescribed like candy that you cannot get anymore, at least in our state, because of that reason.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that people aren't finding them.
No, I mean it's hard. It's a hard line to dance on because you have people with cancer and stuff like that truly need something to ease the pain, and I can understand that. But at the same time, it's just like where can we draw the line to put an end to all these people that don't need it, that are still getting their hands on ambitious amounts of medication and selling it and putting it on the streets and just still killing people left and right. And it's
Right.
really,
It is really hard. There was 2 drug overdoses underneath one of our bridges in Port Angeles. So Port Angeles is about 20 miles from where I'm at. And 2 people died underneath the bridge in one night last week. I want to say it was last Wednesday. And yeah, it was from the pills and heroin. So combining the two is a very dangerous cocktail. And I think it's because people, they lose hope and they're done, and they don't, they're not thinking clearly enough to try to find a better path on their journey.
no, and it's hard, man. Like, let me tell you, like in my life, I was not born with, any kind of advantage more so than anybody else. I mean, I didn't have it rough as a kid. My parents were both hardworking people. And they, provided anything I could ever need. I wasn't given stuff that I wanted, but, stuff that I needed for the most part, yes, I had. And I chose to do that. That was a life that I chose to get into. And I get into the argument with people with the whole choice addiction thing and disease. And I see it as a choice. It is a disease for sure, and it's overrunning the country, but you make the choice, to get yourself into that situation. And it is easy to get lost down that road, because I spent years just having fun. I wasn't a drug addict. I just got high to just have fun, smoke, do some pills, hang out, and be wild.
Right.
And woke up one day and had to have it because I had been partying too hard for too long, and then couldn't go back. And yeah, you're hooked. It's rough, man. It's tough. And like I said, a lot of people don't ever get to clear their mind enough, like you said, to make the decision that they don't want to live that way.
Yeah, you came back. You switched it around and got back on track and switched your journey.
I spent years, strung out on drugs and just thinking like, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm doing great. Like, what do you mean? I don't got no problems. What the hell? You got problems, man. Shit, I'm about to go get high. I'm living good, bro. Hell no, man. No, it was rough. And I'm glad it's behind me for damn sure. He's always like, man, why didn't you get a hold of us sooner, dude? We could have been doing this for years. And I'm like, no, dude, I would have been kicked out of this band for stealing our shit 25 times.
Oh, wow. Well, I honestly believe that everything happens for a reason and that the universe brings people together. So this was the time for times of desperation.
That's what we've talked about, because I'm a super skeptical person. I have no basic religion or believe in anything that I can't see. But I have actually said that before, that this seems like one of those things that was destined for just so many of the chance encounters that we had up to the point to where it became an actual full-on collaboration and we started this band. It's a strange thing to not that it wasn't somehow orchestrated somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, some things you just kind of wonder about. And I get you. I'm skeptical of religions too. But every once in a while, the universe just provides some things that you're like, huh, I wonder about that. Yeah. And how beautiful that music saved you in a sense. Like learning guitar has kept your mind on that.
Like I dove in head first whenever I started coming back into playing for sure.
Sweet.
Dude, that's awesome. That's
what is it?
So how many guitars do you have and what kind? Oh yeah, show and tell. You got some with you?
7. I have 7 guitars.
Oh yeah.
I'm a firm believer of the Jackson. I love Jackson guitars. I've got a Jackson Kelly Tex Explorer, which I don't break out very often because it's a little price. It's cost more than any car I've ever owned.
Ooh.
I like it a lot.
True musician. True musician.
I honestly prefer my much cheaper Jackson Dinky. It's my favorite guitar. I've got, the Marvel Comics stickers and little dudes hanging all over it.
That's cool.
Love it to death. I've got Ibanez. I got an Ibanez.
Ibanez.
Yeah, I've got an Ibanez RG7 series, which has active Dave Mustaine pickups in it.
Wow.
I like it a lot. I have 2 Fender Strats, Squire Strats. One's black, one's white. And I have 2 acoustic guitars.
Nice.
But I'm a Jackson guy for sure. I love Jackson guitars.
Cool.
But I've been playing my Ibanez a lot here lately.
Kind of girl. I like Pacific drum percussion drums. They're my favorite.
Yeah. That's one thing I cannot do. I cannot play the drums or anything.
Crash plays bass, and she has an Ibanez.
I do. It's red, and his name is Ivan.
That's nice. He just started working with the wireless microphone here in the past couple of weeks.
Those are life-changing. I have a wireless. We both do.
It has been a big change, but I'm used to the cord being wrapped around my leg.
Yeah.
So
do you have the microphone or have the headset?
I have a mic. I use a microphone.
Okay. So you get a hold.
I don't do the headset thing. I'm more about the performance than I am the vocals. So
sweet.
I'm like,
with the headset.
When I first met Justin and we started this band, I told him I was like, I'm gonna be the weird one to overlook me because I get really into it and I'm gonna be all over the place. Just overlook that. So
well, that's what you have to do as the front man. You have to be like that to draw the attention in. And I was going to say, if you had the headset, you could do choreographed dance moves, dude.
That's what it needs to be.
You
Yes.
could totally insane that stuff. Oh, yeah. You know, the bad stuff.
Oh
Huh.
yeah, the new kids in the block. That's
Oh hell yeah. We've
So
got some,
we both have headsets because we drum and sing. In fact, that was another reason we got connected, is because she wanted to learn to drum and sing, and I've been doing that for, oh gosh, it's been 12 years now. So when I met her, it was 10 years. And so I told her, what kind of headset I had, and just kind of coached her through some of the things, because it is hard when you start singing and playing your instrument. It's not like it's going to happen right away.
I
it
still
takes a
can
long
play bass and sing, but I can drum any song and sing now. Like, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's so drumming and singing, it makes more sense and it's easier to me than
It took me quite a
strumming
while
and
to
singing.
get
I think a lot of it
hard.
I think a lot of it is because, like, with drumming, a lot of it is muscle memory.
Right.
And so you can focus more on your vocals. Whereas strumming, like playing guitar or bass or something, you have to actually like think more about like finger placement and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah. It makes it difficult for real.
Yeah.
Our drummer uses the in-ear setup where like he has everything mic'd to him.
Oh,
But he's also a total dick because
because he's not here.
Yeah. Because he's not sharing.
He's
Yeah,
probably
fuck you.
listening. Lance, you're a dick. He's probably the best singer in our band, and he won't ever sing shit. He's probably the best guitar player in our band, and doesn't play
Hey,
guitar.
no fucking
He just wants
guitar
to sit
either.
back there behind the sail and beat the shit out of them drums. But I'll give him that. He's good at that too.
Well, and drummers are hard to come by. So, if he's universal like that, definitely use him for that. Like,
He is a genius. This dude's a genius.
wow.
I mean, he does it all. He does recording. He does he has probably 20 hours of music of his own, like personal music that he's done himself. That's amazing stuff that he does not really let other people hear. He has a song that is just, I mean, it blew me away. Like he sent it to me, and I was like, dude, you should be putting this on the radio. This is amazing.
Wow.
But he just does it because he loves to play music.
Yeah. Multi-talented. I respect that.
He really is. But he doesn't have any interest in singing while playing them drums. We've tried to get that out of him.
Hey.
He won't do it.
I think it's the whole metal thing.
Probably.
Not big into.
He's not a talker. Like he barely speaks to us most of the time.
Yeah, that's why you said he wasn't coming on the show, because he didn't really talk. But
yeah,
you'd be surprised.
I'm not much for
We get to talk. We get people to talk about stuff. We would have talked about drums forever with that guy. Like what kind of skins he likes, what kind of drums he likes, what kind of sticks he prefers.
What kind of stands?
Yeah.
He's like this super quiet dude, and you don't get a whole lot of emotion or reaction out of him. But when he got up there to Sonic Lounge Studio, he looked like a kid that just got like the best Christmas present on the planet. Like he was just so blindsided by this huge switchboard and seeing this actual recording studio. Like he was in love. He had a good time up there.
That's awesome.
It was a good feeling just to see him enjoying it up there. I mean, and we all felt that way. It not only is it cool to do, but it's a feeling. You're like, man, we're really taking a big step, going from playing in the garage to where we're at now is quite a big difference.
Well, you mentioned that your drummer is where you guys jam. So he has a studio or a jam spot?
He has a home studio in his own house. He actually another property that we go to where he has a big building for us to go ahead and play in. But he is trying to get him a garage built right now so we can actually start playing at his house.
That's a step above the garage for sure. That's very cool.
Yeah.
I'm totally jealous.
It's nice. we've got it going pretty good right now.
Nice. Well, and you mentioned that you want to do some music videos. Who do you want to produce that? Are you guys going to do that yourselves?
No.
There's a few guys on our list right now that we've been kind of talking with.
Like, no, we're not fucking doing it ourselves.
I'm not going to reveal no names for it yet because I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings or nothing like that. So there's been a couple guys that we've been like, well, maybe we should go to him and do this. And there's like, oh, well, this guy does this, and that's really cool. So once again, when we have this discussion, hopefully Friday, we'll figure everything out and be able to talk more about it then. So,
well, you guys will have to keep us posted on your videos when they, start being produced and when they start getting released, because we love to share
Yes.
bands that we've had on the show. Their music videos. We put together music video montages every few months, and we would totally share one of yours on our show.
Hell yeah. Sorry,
Oh my
I got
gosh.
these blueberries today, and they're just delicious.
That's awesome. My puppy is eating carpet, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna go take care of that.
So, how old were you guys when you guys first started playing?
I started playing. I started in a band when I was about probably 15 and a half, going on 16. I think that's when I first got asked to be in a band or invited to be in a band. So
I was about 33.
Right, because this is your first band. But oh wait, no, that's not true because you started playing guitar in 2017. So, like, how old were you when you first started playing instruments?
I actually started to play guitar. I think about 2003, so probably about 18, 19. I was in a band actually years ago called So Be It for a while. It was very short lived. I mean, I was on drugs back then too. And we got kicked to the curb. They did a 4-song EP back in the day that really kicked ass, but they just ended up falling apart.
So Kelly Ray just
Hi, Kelly Ray.
Kelly Ray.
And y'all, I just heard something about eating carpet. Good show already. Ha! What's up, guys? Desperation.
I know. As I said that, I was like, "Oh God, I just said that," but it's puppy life, so that's what happens here.
Can't believe that innuendo got away from me.
Anything can happen on Musicians Hangout.
I'm normally pretty quick on those.
Kelly Ray, thanks so much for joining in, dude. Congratulations on your recording studio.
Oh my God. Yeah, he sent me pictures of it yesterday, actually. And he was like, yeah, I find out today whether or not I get this place. And then I found out through Facebook, of course, that he got it. And then he called me today, which I was very excited to hear Kelly Ray's voice. Such a good guy. I was so excited that I think he picked up his keys today or tomorrow. I can't remember.
Yeah, Kelly, let us know in the chat. Did you pick up your keys today or is that tomorrow?
So exciting.
Actually, Kelly Ray has been really, really pushing for Musicians Hangout to come out to Ohio and hang out with y'all in person. So we might meet you guys in person someday.
That'd be awesome. You guys should come out to one of the big
Welcome, you guys. I want to go to you guys. I want to go to Seattle, man. That's where I want to head.
Yeah, you should come to Seattle. Yes, you should.
I just want to go.
He said that he was sitting in the label office now.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Much love to you too, friends.
Oh hell yeah. Big
yeah,
love,
you
Kelly.
guys you should come out to Seattle sometime, and when you do, we'll come out and see you for sure.
Yeah,
we have amazing blueberries here.
That'd be killer. it'd be a dream to actually go out and do some real touring. You know, that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't
definitely.
imagine.
It's
Touring, what?
something that we've wanted to do too. Yeah, where would you go on tour? Where would you want to go?
Europe.
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
Europe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I'd love to do a
Dude,
metal
it's
show.
all about Japan for me. Like, I'm going to Japan because Japanese people, they're crazy and they love everything. You can buy anything in a vending machine. Literally anything you ever wanted in your life out of a
I've heard
vending
that.
machine.
Well, and they love American bands. Oh, they just love us, man.
I've got a buddy that went to Japan about years ago, and he said it was crazy.
I bet.
Was he fighting? No. And was it exciting? It's a little bit frightening. Those cats be throwing lightning.
I turned down a Japanese tour. We were supposed to go in March 2020.
No
And
kidding.
we decided not to because it was a little wishy-washy because it was through another mini tour that we had done.
Uh-huh.
And it sounded like we would have to pay our way there and then things would be taken care of, but we didn't want a chance going to another country and being like kind of left in this limbo of where are we staying, what's going on.
Right.
So we declined.
Playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we declined. So the Three Ring Circus was going to go to Japan, but we declined. And it wouldn't have happened anyway. So we would have invested about $1,500 into something that would have gotten shut down in March 2020. So it worked out for the better. But yeah, if that opportunity comes around again, I'd like to take it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that, like, we're still trying, like, dipping our toes in the pool of trying to figure out how to, gain access to venues and, like, talk to get noticed by labels and stuff like that. I mean, that's all still fresh and new to us. I mean, like I said, I don't know much about this whole thing, but I'm definitely a people person, and I get out and try to talk and get any kind of contacts that I can for us and get us into just about anything I can. And
Right.
I'm hoping to figure that out of how to get it in the door of just about anywhere we want to play. And
do you guys have an EPK?
Have what?
An electronic press kit?
No, we don't.
Definitely get an EPK together. It makes it so easy. It has like your bios, your songs, videos, like all that stuff in it, and you can just send it to a lot of different places. Like it's all in one like little package. And a lot more places will look more into an EPK, less into and that sends them crap. You know what I mean?
Right.
They like things bundled in a nice little package with a bow.
And they do.
Much more than
well, that's what it is. I feel like an EPK is a package with a bow.
Right.
Radio station.
Like you, my friend. You have your little bow.
Yeah. Headband bow. Can't really see it though. Backwards. It's backwards land. But that's my advice is like a nice little EPK, and it's free to make. So.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely look into that because that's what I need to do. I'm at the point now that I just message people and we'll send them links to our live shows and stuff like that and try to get us in different doors. But I would rather have something like that going. Of course, which we just got this music back. That's going to be another big step forward, and then getting a music video shot. Those will all be big contributors to helping us get into places. I'm sure.
Yeah, I can't wait for your music video. Are you looking for something that's theatrical or more studio video type setup?
We originally had a concept for a music video that he had mainly came up with and we had worked upon. That was a really good idea, but we kind of just backed off of all that as far as it going to be our first video, and decided we're probably going to go more along the lines with just like not necessarily a live show, but just a lot of different cuts and angles of
Yes.
us, and then maybe do like some single shots of each member getting to play through, and then have them edited through,
Oh
to
yeah.
where it's a performance of the band, but also has its own standalone moments.
Very cool. Definitely need a smoke machine, guys. Get a smoke machine. Or a fog machine. Yes.
And my advice is don't put it behind the drummer.
Yes,
because the smoke machine will always go up and cover the whole entire drums before it goes back down.
It does.
We've been working on our own kind of little light
like lately. It's like I can't even see my drums back here. Like, yeah.
I was actually just looking at smoke machines online.
What was that, Justin?
Dude, I don't know.
I was actually just looking for smoke machines online the other day.
Perfect. Yes. We have one that we got given to us, so it was used, and we had to kind of rig it up to work. And now we bought parts to replace on it so that it would work, because it's an industrial fog machine. It's really big. So we were able to, fix it, but for a while there, we had to like manually pump the fog out of it. So during Celtic Demon Crash, Max was manually pumping the smoke. But by the time we did the zombie video for Society's Lies, we had it fixed so it would work on its own.
Oh yeah. We come up with some pretty impressive stuff on our own, like as far as lights and stuff like that. We've just recently been doing. I built a ego box for him. He's going to be coming up where he can stand up on it and stomp, and it'll light him up. And
that's going to be cool. Ooh,
I like that ego box.
Yeah, it's cool.
That is super cool. Oh my gosh.
We've got some pretty neat stuff coming up for sure whenever we get out and play a live show.
When is your first show booked?
We are not booked at all till August right now.
Okay, that's us too. We're going out in August. Yeah.
You guys know Justin Sane?
What?
I don't know.
He's a good friend of Danny and Roy and all them of the Lick County Metalhead. He books a lot of shows for us. He's actually just been talking to us about a live stream show where these guys have this room that they bring bands to and have bands play, and they live stream it. And it's all lit up artifacts I was telling you about earlier.
Yeah.
They actually just did a show there, and it's super impressive, and it's all free. They just ask for donations or tips or whatever online.
That's awesome.
It's really cool. I'm really impressed with it.
Very cool. And sometimes those donations can really bring in some funds. Like, I've been surprised by that, actually. So very cool.
Sure.
Did you guys do any live streaming?
Nice to know that people still can.
No.
Yeah.
We have zero.
Why not?
Where we practice at. Like it's.
Oh. Okay.
Go out there and get out. We're very business.
Okay, you get out this time.
Get out. We go to work.
So if you guys could play any venue, where would you play? Any venue in the world, where would you want to play?
Wacken. In Germany at the Wacken Festival.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
the video that changed my life that made me want to play there was Domination live video by Pantera.
Oh yes.
And they go out and go overneath, like it's literally as far as the eye can see of all those crowds of people.
Yes.
And you can see that moment at the end when Dimebag just like grabs his guitar and his hair is blowing in the wind, like that image of just seeing how happy he is, like
yeah, in that moment.
Oh yeah, you can just tell he's just like, holy shit, how did I get here?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Man, I love Dimebag. I'm really into Damage Plan. I listen to Damage Plan a lot still. I'm a big Pantera fan, but I really did
get into the Damage Plan.
Really, I huge Damage Plan fan, man. I love them.
Are they still doing stuff?
I haven't followed since they lost Dimebag, actually, so I don't think so.
I didn't know. I have the record that they did, that first one that has like Corey Taylor guest spot and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I don't know. I guess I was such a Pantera fan that it's hard for me to break away from anything that those guys have done that wasn't Pantera.
I like to gather that, but that's why I really love Damage Plan too, because it was them too.
Right, and I get that, but I guess it's the same thing for me with like Hell Yeah. I hate Hell Yeah. I hate Hell Yeah. I love Mudvayne.
Really?
I love Pantera, but I hated Hell Yeah.
Really? I love Hell Yeah. I do.
I was just like,
I actually forgot about Hell Yeah.
Oh, I wish I would.
That's funny. I wish I would.
I wish they would too, and go back to Mudvayne and doing the other stuff they did that kicked ass.
Man, I do miss Mudvayne. I gotta say.
Me too.
Bring that back.
Yes.
Yeah, Mudvayne's good. We miss you, Mudvayne. Come back.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Their second album was one of the best albums. Oh man, I love that album. End of All Things to Come.
Their writing technique was just totally out of this world.
Yeah, I mean, it was off the charts. They were just doing whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah. Really good band.
I would kind of say that's kind of how we write music, is we don't have
I was just going to ask what your guys' writing process was like.
Yes, tell us a little bit about that.
We really don't have a formula. I mean, most of the time I'll get some kind of riff going on guitar, or try to build somewhat of a song, and I'll take it out there, and he normally will freestyle to what we're doing. Like, how a lot of bands, and I could be wrong, but it's my understanding that a lot of bands don't practice with their vocalists. The vocalist will come in after the fact. But
I have heard that.
He comes to every practice, and when we start playing new music, he'll kind of just sit over there and be a weird dude that just watches us. And then all of a sudden he'll just pop up and start some shit. And we'll get done, and I'll be like, that was it. Whatever the hell you was saying, that was it, dude. That shit was flowing.
That's cool. So how do you remember what you say, Josh? Do you have it, do you make notes on your phone, or do you record it really quick?
Every practice.
Perfect.
That's smart.
Anything I freestyle, I never really, when I go back in and actually write the song, I usually don't.
Yeah, he usually changes his almost everything whenever he
I get that. You'll get more elaborate when you start to write it, whereas you kind of repeated yourself a little bit when you were freestyling. Because that's what I do sometimes when I'm writing, is I'll have something written, but I don't have it all done, and then I'll throw it to a riff that my husband comes up with, and then we'll put it together, and then I elaborate more once I sit down and write the lyrics.
I don't know.
I'm very big on finding melody. I'm very big on finding the melody through everything. So I usually find myself stuck on words like what would sound good for this word.
Yeah.
To find that word for it. But
one of our newest songs that we're working on now, I'd been working on it. He came out there and I was like, now listen, man, I've got an idea for this, but I don't have any words. So I'm going to make this noise, but I want you to put words to it.
Yes, I love that.
We're going to get to that part, and it's going to be like, we played the song, and he did it perfect. Like, I mean, he just completely captured my idea.
That's
And
cool.
it simply worked out. Yeah, I'm not a lyricist at all. I'm one of them dudes that writes them songs like, hell yeah, I'll kick your ass.
Yes, rage, get it out.
Yeah, I'm not a lyricist by any means.
So, Josh, do you ever write lyrics and then bring them to practice and see if they fit in any of the music?
No, my thing.
Okay.
So when we wrote Exit Humanity, like Justin was at the time, man. I could hear like what I was wanting to write when he started playing. Like I felt like he was bringing me like riffs, like I don't know, it was almost Black Sabbath. Like when we wrote Exit Humanity, it kind of reminded me of like Black Sabbath. Then it put me in like that mood of what I was gonna write. Like so with Exit Humanity, like it was like definitely like an end of times type of deal.
Oh.
But
Gosh.
so then I got the concept of like it being about you know, like no there being like no survivors and just being us here. And that's basically what Exit Humanity was about. And like at the end of the album there is people, but they're not like it's all a bunch of like it's violence. So
what inspired your lyrics?
What is it now?
What inspires your lyrics?
I really don't have an inspiration. Like I said, like I'm with Justin. Like I never really had like a bad childhood. I had a good childhood life. I usually like just try to think of stories, you know, like or I'll watch like movies or something and find like an idea of that. For example, like I actually wrote an album one time with one of my old bands called Ghosts of Arizona and based it off Tombstone. So,
oh, that's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, I really
makes
had a bad
sense, though.
childhood. I mean, I just try to find like something dark and write about it. So
I love that. I like writing about dark things too.
yeah. Like some of the album like that's coming out, man, was based off like a lot of like police brutality. Like I found some stories on the internet about like you know people losing their lives for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
And used it on this album. I mean,
yeah, no, my punk band has a song called Officer Friendly about that same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like I said, there's a lot of realness to this album coming out, and then there's a lot of fantasy stuff. So
that's cool. I like that. I'm a big Ozzy fan, and I found it interesting that Ordinary Man had some of the end of times type music songs on it before the pandemic hit. So I found that pretty interesting, and I'm so glad that Ozzy is doing better now because he took a turn for the worst last year and was hospitalized in Europe. So I'm glad that he's doing a lot better now.
Did you guys see that picture that was released of him where he had like no hair dye and he just looked awful? He looked like he was sitting on a couch or something and just looked like he was yeah, it was bad.
He's what, like 1,015 years old or something?
Right. The original vampire. Well, and I've seen Ozzy in concert, and it's amazing how you don't understand a fucking thing that he is saying, but you'll understand what he's singing.
Oh yeah.
It is I have been mind boggled on that for years.
I hope I'm able to do that. Like 300 years old.
I can hear him say, "All right," and Sharon. That's how to say Sharon really well.
Yes.
Other than that,
when he would talk at the concert, all I could hear was "fuck." He'd be like, "Fuck." And then it was amazing. He was amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I can say I saw Ozzy. And that was for the Black Sabbath album 13. I saw Black Sabbath in concert. So that was really cool.
Yeah. I'd love to see Black Sabbath. I'd like to see Pink Floyd too as well.
Dude, yeah, right?
Yeah, my stepbrother's an avid Pink Floyd fan, and we talk about it all the time. We debate on who was better between Roger Waters and What's his name? Gilmore.
Roger
whatever.
Waters.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
I
say
feel like
Roger Waters
Roger
too.
Waters is a crazier guy, and he really he had a unique way of looking at shit
Mm-hmm.
and writing about it.
That's
So
what I
I
said.
kind of
Roger
prefer
Waters.
I,
Much
I
much
prefer
bigger.
Roger Waters more.
Yeah.
I even like his solo stuff. Like he's just a weirdo guy, and I like him.
Yes.
How do you guys feel about System of a Down?
I like System of a Down.
Yeah.
I like System of a Down. I like
What do you
his
think of the
theatrical
two?
voice.
Oh yeah.
Did you
I was
guys listen-
surprised. They were never gonna go political, and then they did go political. And I was like, you guys said you were never gonna go political. Come on. But I get it.
Actually, everybody goes political at some point.
Yes.
One band that I talk about frequently with people is Disturbed, and I say that they've never
like
put
Disturbed.
a bad album. They're a band that
Yamana. Yeah,
I
Yamana.
love-
Watch the parody on YouTube. The Disturbed parody. Oh my god, it's gonna change your life. Watch.
I'm
this
gonna watch that.
parody
Okay.
Video.
Send me the link. Have you guys seen the Pearl Jam Black where it's like sings the wrong word?
Yes.
Yeah,
you never
but-
hear it right the same.
That's so funny.
You'll never hear Disturbed again the same after you watch the
Did you,
the parody, because it's just like all of his songs sound like he's saying Yamana, 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 Yama, Yamana, Yamana, Yama,
I don't know if I want to
Yamana.
watch it.
Dude, I love Disturbed, man. I've loved them since high school. They,
It's hilarious.
Did you listen to his side band Device?
I haven't.
Oh,
He does
yeah,
a song with Surge from System of a Down.
Ooh.
It's mainly just a bunch of guest spots,
Okay.
but I'm telling you right now, look that up. Device.
I'm doing it.
David Raymond's Device. He
Okay.
does that song with Surge, and it's a killer song.
Dude.
I
I'm
love
definitely gonna check it out.
collaborations like that.
Okay.
It's the
They did an Ozzy song on there too.
Checking them out.
For some
And you
reason,
know-
I thought he was part of Bad Wolves.
who's that?
Bad Wolves. It is the old drummer for Double Driver, John Boakland, and some other dudes. They redid that Zombie by the Cranberry song.
Oh yeah. Tommy Vex. Yes.
Mhm.
That's the Bad Wolves.
Well, I had heard them. I'd heard them do that Zombie, and then I thought, okay, so this is kind of going to be like another Five Finger Death Punch type deal. And then I listened to some of their other music, and I was like, whoa, these dudes are metal as fuck.
Mhm.
Well, John Boakland is their drummer, and he was the drummer for Double Driver. So
The guitar player.
John
was
Boakland is like my favorite drummer on the planet. Like he is a god to me. Like he can do no wrong.
Well, and did he do
Right.
some stuff with Fear Factory 2 Crash? I think.
Possibly. I mean, that wouldn't
Maybe.
surprise. Or
I don't remember.
like I don't know. No, I think maybe one of the Fear Factory guys is in Bad Wolves or something.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah,
I
I
think
Fear
it's something
Factory.
like that.
Their singer left though, didn't he? Didn't their singer? They changed singers recently.
I think so. Yeah.
I believe so. I
Fear
believe something
Factory?
happened with that.
What?
I'm gonna look that up.
Huh.
I've been lax on my music news. It's bad. I used to do that segment too.
Dude,
Fear
I haven't been
Factory,
able to
what's
do
going
your
on?
neck of the woods. So we used to have like this thing called music news and then your
Mhm.
neck of the woods. And your neck of the woods was where we would announce, local bands and whoever's area what shows they were going to be doing that week.
Mhm.
But there's no shows going on. Well,
Right.
there wasn't any shows going on. But man, we gotta kick that back into gear.
Yeah. Sure. Hell yeah.
We need some normalcy back.
Yeah, they got a different vocalist. You're right.
Are
That
you
was
guys
Oh,
Slipknot
shit.
fans?
2 days ago that was announced. So you are on top of that music news there, Justin.
Oh shit, I had
Yeah.
no idea.
Damn.
Damn, that
Yeah.
sucks.
I know I've been so bad at it because because of the pandemic, I was just like, fuck it. I'm done with my segment. And yeah, our neck of the woods became like, well, everybody's either live streaming or they're in the recording studio.
Nobody's going anywhere, so
right.
Fuck it. That's how it's been too. I mean, that's it. That's how it has been. We had talked about doing live streams, but we have yet to get around to it.
Well, if you don't have a good internet connection, I understand why, because you have to have a good broadband and Wi-Fi to be able to have a successful stream. And we've learned a lot about also compression on the virtual platform. Holy shit, that matters a lot, actually. So you have to manipulate compressions on platforms.
Get a mixing board and get a Scarlett. Scarlett is an interface that connects to your computer from the board. So you're gonna definitely want to do that.
Yeah, who would have thought we'd know all of this by now? Like, we were not sound tech people, and now we know.
Right. Yeah, our drummer's the one that handles all of our electronic anything, basically.
That's awesome. It's good to have a person like that in your band.
We're like, what do we plug into? And he's like this, and we're like, okay, let's do this.
The drummer's plugging you in. That's hilarious because does he play an acoustic set?
No.
He's electric?
He plays electric drums?
No. I'm sorry. Yes, he plays an acoustic drum set, but he mics everything.
Ah, okay, gotcha. Oh, yeah. Guitar players. Jeez. Just kidding.
Why does he have to drum? Why does he have to mic every? Oh, because you guys record.
Yep. That is so smart. I love that. That is so smart to do. Yeah.
Well,
I have a task cam that I bring.
How many times have you caught lightning in a bottle and then been like, fuck, I don't even remember what we were doing?
Dude, I hear you. That's why sometimes I just record. I just press record and set my phone down so I have it.
Right.
So I have the idea down so I don't forget. Yeah, because
we probably have 20 B-side tracks of stuff that was like we played one time on the fly. And it's still saved. We've talked about like maybe later on years down the road, literally just making an album of just songs that we made up on the fly and putting that all together and then releasing it later on.
I love that. And you should call it On the Fly.
Right, there you go.
You should do that. That would be a really cool concept.
We've got a lot of stuff. And of course, stuff that is songs now, but you know, like it might be 2 or 3 songs now, but was all combined into one thing a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Sweet.
It's funny to go back and listen to it. We have a song of, I don't think you were there, or maybe you were on drum. Yeah, you were on drum, where I was doing vocals, our drummer was playing guitar, and Josh was playing drums.
I love that. You guys can switch like that. That's really cool.
We've talked about
Chinese fire drill.
You got to do it. Chinese fire drill. If you can do it.
Bubba Flex used to do it all the time, and
they did. Yeah, they did. That's where I heard about that concept. In fact, was through Bubba Flex. So
I watched them do a Michael Jackson song where their bass player would go to vocals, the brothers would switch guitar and bass, and the bass player would play a guitar.
And that's sweet.
It was killer. I've watched them guys do some ultimate covers like My Michelle.
Oh yeah.
What else did I see them cover? Oh, I seen them cover Livewire by Motley Crue one time, and they did all that. It was killer.
You know, speaking of covers, and that you've mentioned Disturbed and Bubba Flex now, which one do you think covered Sound of Silence better?
I'm Bubba Flex, 100%.
Me too. Me too.
I don't care for Disturbed's cover of Land of Confusion.
Okay.
I don't care for their cover of Shout. I hated that.
I like that. I actually like that.
I just didn't care for it. I mean, now what others? Disturbed, they did another cover on that.
They did Judas Priest too, didn't
Yes, I love that Judas Priest.
Wait, who did the fucking Rosemary, Sage, and Thyme song? The Garfield and the Simon and Garfunkel song. Somebody did a Simon and Garfunkel song, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Shit. Yes, they did. I'm trying to think of who it was.
Who the fuck was it?
You mean one that was other than the Sound of Silence one, Crash?
Oh no, never mind. I guess it was Silence. Never mind.
So
Damn it, I
Disturbed
forgot about that.
and Bobaflex both did that. Bobaflex did their
No,
cover of Sound of...
way better than Disturbed. I'm not a big Disturbed fan. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, I believe that.
Covered "Hey You" by Pink Floyd and did a killer job with that.
Yeah, they did. Yes, they kill the covers, man. They really do. They're good at it.
My all-time favorite cover, without question, would be "Holy Diver" by Killswitch.
Dude, yes. They like made that song. It should have been theirs. Yeah.
They recreated that.
I gotta say, if you guys have never heard, of the band Strung Out, definitely take a look at Strung Out's version of Bark at the Moon. And telling you, you will not hate it. Like, it's a good version of Bark at the Moon.
You will not hate it. Okay, I'll look it up.
Bark at the Moon. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out for sure.
Sweet.
I do like the cover.
It's a punk rock. It's more of a punk rock version, but it isn't like super punk rock out, if you know what I mean. Like, they do an amazing job.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. Have you guys heard Asking Alexandria's covers of the Skid Row songs?
Yes. I have not, but I'm a big Skid Row fan, so I dig it.
They redid 18 in Life, and they redid Youth Gone Wild. And
yeah.
I love that.
They really did a good job with this.
Sweet.
Kelly Ray says that Leak does Dio Killer.
Yeah.
That's a family band, and they absolutely are amazing.
Sweet.
They have like the younger daughters, the vocalists, and like the brothers are guitar players, and the moms. And they.
Oh, so it is a family band, like really a family band.
That's cool as shit.
Yeah, like it's super awesome. They are.
Hell
really
yeah.
cool. You probably like a lot of the stuff they do.
Oh, probably. Kelly Ray knows that. So, okay, guys, we're coming up on about 6 more minutes left of the show. And what we like to ask musicians before we sign out is, what advice do you have for other musicians?
Don't do drugs.
Oh, that's a good one. But I mean,
that is a good one. And coming personally, right? You speak personally from that. So yeah, good for you.
Oh, I would like to say that.
I would like to say, even when it's hard, keep going, believe in destiny. And even when it feels like you can't push no farther, keep pushing forward, because something is out there if you believe that it's out there. So that's
I like that. That's a good one.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
It's hard to be in a band and not want to kill each other at times.
Yes.
Man, we're married. We're a power duo, married power duo. So yes.
You guys are really going at it then.
It's a great way to release a lot of rage within instead of on each other, though. I gotta say, it's a great outlet. So
I like that.
Music is a great outlet, without a doubt.
Yeah. All right, so where can our fans find you guys online?
Oh yeah, I can't message anything because I don't.
I got you. Phone. I can do this.
You guys can find us at facebook.com, TOD the beginning on facebook.com, at Times of Desperation on Facebook. We do have a YouTube channel that doesn't have a huge following just yet. We haven't really, that's our fault. We haven't put a whole lot of content on there, but there's some live shows and stuff like that on there. Feel free to, YouTube search that and find us on there. It's a picture of the band. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory to find. Those are really the only services we're on right now, but you will be finding us on Spotify and Apple Music and everything like that coming up in the next couple months for sure. Going down.
Yay, I'm excited for that. Dude, like I said, keep us in the loop. We want to promote you guys.
We definitely will, and I can promise you will not
send us links.
Yeah, send the links.
Definitely will.
All right, everybody. So like and follow Times of Desperation on Facebook and YouTube. And you said you guys were TOD the beginning on Facebook too?
Is that what it is? Yes. Yeah. TOD the beginning.
Awesome. Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Or you can just do it. I mean, you can search Times of Desperation.
Yeah, he's going to pull it right up.
Yeah, you guys are easy to find. I found you right away. So yeah, look them up on Facebook. You'll find them. Look them up on YouTube. You'll find them. And yeah, soon enough, they'll have an album and they'll have some music videos for us too.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to hear what comes about from your Friday meeting because you guys have a lot to talk about on Friday.
I was just gonna say that. I was like, man, they got a lot of shit to talk about. That's a big that's a big meeting. I want to be a fly on that wall.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Sweet. So we'll be thinking about you on Friday. And we will also be tuning in to our friends, Licking County Metalheads. This Friday. So they stream at 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's 4 p.m. our time. So it sometimes works out for our schedule, but I always make sure to catch it later if I don't catch it right away. But I just love catching them when they're live because Daniel Ray always shouts out everybody in the chat. And they're always a good time on their show. So
yeah, and killer music too.
Hell yeah, they are amazing.
Before we go, guys, I did want to put a shout out to these are hard times with there have been a lot of suicides in our not only nation but in our world lately. And so we want to, and Maxine, if you could help me with this because I can't type anything.
Got it, girl.
We have the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, which is 1-800-273-8255. And please, if you are just feeling desperate, nobody's taking your calls, call them. Message anybody, a friend, whoever. Sometimes, stop a stranger in the street, talk to them. This is just a temporary situation.
Yeah, we've had some viewers reach out to us in the past year when they were feeling low. And if you need us, guys, you can message us too. So you can message Maxine Max or Crash Fist Fight or Musicians Hangout, and we'll help you through your hard time too. So suicide hotline,
listen, like
273-8255. There you go. I'll leave it up there for you, friend.
Yes. And these are hard times. It's COVID, man. We totally feel it. And I know that there have been recent suicides in schools.
Yes, there have been.
Because of the pandemic and all sorts of, we got to be there for each other. These are the worst of times before the best of times. We need to hold each other up during these worst of times.
So know that you're not alone.
Yes.
You're not alone. We're here for you. And we love you guys. All right. Thanks so much, Times of Desperation, for joining us tonight on this lovely Wednesday evening. And we look forward to hearing about your future endeavors. I will sign us out.
Yeah, and I can't wait for your new album.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maxine. You guys
for having us.
Really appreciate you having us on.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. I'll take us out. Good night, everybody. See you next week.
Thank you, guys.
Night.
Good night. See you later. Man, I am feeling a lot.